Good morning, Cedar Lane. All right. I was just so occupied saying hello to people, I didn't realize we were at the hour. Whether you're here in this sanctuary in person or joining us online, it is a joy to be together in worship on this Labor Day weekend. I'm Abhijan Amanchi, pronouns he and him, and I serve as one of the ministers of this religious community. For those who find a visual description helpful, I am a South Asian Indian male in my mid-50s with graying hair and mustache and beard, wearing a purple kurta, a long shirt, and purple pants, and a purple vest. In case you didn't know, purple is a favorite color of mine. A very special welcome to those visiting with us, whether this is your first Sunday or your 100th or your 1000th. You are a part of this beloved community. Because at Cedar Lane, love whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you come from, whatever your life circumstance, disability, documentation status, gender identity, sexual orientation, or spiritual path, you are welcome here. Your story matters and your presence is a gift. Now, if you're new or still finding your way around here, we'd love to connect. Online friends, please say hello in the chat and let us know where you're joining from. And if you're here in person and feel comfortable, we invite you to raise your hand so we can welcome you and give you a warm Cedar Lane greeting. We have any guests this morning? Yes. Welcome. After the service, join us in the fellowship hall for some coffee, tea, and conversation. And remember, at Cedar Lane, yellow means which means a yellow mug is an invitation to go meet someone new. And if you pick up a white mug, it is your sign to introduce yourself to someone new. And if you need a moment of care today, know that our caring ministry team, led by Kathleen Holmey, is here for you. Thank you, Kathleen. On this Labor Day weekend, we remember that worship is not just about rest. It is also about renewal for the work of justice and about honoring the dignity of all who labor, which makes it especially fitting that this morning we welcome back our friends from the DC Labor Chorus. Sister Elise, I'm just curious, how long has the DC Labor Chorus been singing at Cedar Lane on Labor Day weekend? Because it was before my time.
I look to Steve Jones.
Steve? Because I've been here since 2013, but you were already coming to...
maybe 15 or 16 years.
15 or 16 years we've had the DC Labor Chorus. Their voices have carried struggles and hopes for justice across this region and beyond, and we are so grateful for the spirit they bring to our worship today. Thank you for being here. And so as we enter into worship, let us lean into the joy of being together with the music, the stories, the spirit of this multi-generational community. We have some wonderful thingies outside if you'd like to pick them up, if you'd like your restless hands to be engaged, and it's for all ages. And now, if you're online, please greet one another in the chat, and if you're here in person, turn to your neighbor and share a word of welcome.
Beautiful. Thank you. Good morning, Cedar Lane. My name is Mike Tringale, and I am really pleased to serve as your worship associate today. I am a white male in his late 50s with brown hair, brown eyes, light brown beard, and I'm wearing a white blue check shirt with blue slacks and black shoes. In our Unitarian Universalist tradition, we light a chalice as our symbol of a shared faith and community. And as Betsy and Jeff Binks and their eldest daughter, Jenny Lee, come forward to light the chalice, we invite those of you joining us here and online to join us in our chalice lighting words. So for those who are here, I invite you to rise in body or spirit and join us in the words of our chalice lighting. We light this chalice in honor of all workers, past, present, and future, whose labor sustains our lives and our world. May this flame remind us of the dignity in every task, the strength we find in joining our efforts, and the balance of both work and rest. On this Labor Day, we recommit ourselves to a society where every worker is valued and all may find purpose and fulfillment. Thank you.
On this Labor Day Sunday, when we honor the dignity of all work, we also lift up the shared work of ministry in this congregation. Ministry is not the task of one person alone. It is the work of many hearts and hands, each offering their gifts to create something larger than any of us could do on our own. And one of the ways this shared ministry takes shape is through our worship associates. These dedicated lay leaders collaborate with the ministers, the musicians, helping to imagine, shape, and lead our Sunday services. They bring their voices, their stories, and their spirit, reminding us that worship belongs to all of us. So today, we dedicate and commission our worship associate team for the coming congregational year. But first, we offer our gratitude for those who have completed their term of service. We give thanks for the gifts of Barb Warman and Cerdwin Hendry. There's Barb. For their presence, their voices, and their faithful service. Cerdwin and her family have moved to Ireland, but she continues to be part of our community through regular online worship. If you're watching, Cerdwin, hello. And though they step away from regular rotation, we say at Cedar Lane, once a worship associate, always a worship associate. And this year, 8 of our worship associates continue their ministry. Joe Del Sol, Raj Rajendran, Ezra Town, David Devlin Folds, Mike Tringale, Mamaho Swayedi Narasimhan, Clark Ritz, and Caroline Ritz. I invite you now to come forward. We also welcome those beginning their service among us, Charles Dumond, Ricky Hernandez, and Suzanne Greenlee. Ricky is working on this Labor Day Sunday. That's right. I invite the worship associates to speak the words that are your affirmation.
We commit to this ministry with joy, openness, and integrity. We bring our voices, our creativity, and our presence to the work of worship. We honor the values and principles of our Unitarian Universalist faith. We offer our gifts, celebration, and service of life.
Thank you. And now I invite the congregation to join together in sharing the words that are up on screens. We recognize and commission you with joy and gratitude. We celebrate the gifts you bring to our worship life. We commit to supporting you with encouragement and love. Together, we share the ministry of worship, united in purpose and spirit. With gratitude and joy, we welcome you as the worship associate team at Cedar Lane for the year ahead. May your service deepen our worship and strengthen our community. Thank you. And now let us rise in body and or in spirit to join the DC Labor Chorus to sing Honey in the Rock. mountains ring. Feed everyone today. Feed everyone today. Rock for all God's children. Honey in the rock, honey in the rock. There's honey in the rock for all God's children. Feed everyone today. All right. Announcements here at Cedar Lane are not just a list of events, they are ways of showing up for each other and for the wider community around us. In that spirit, tomorrow morning, we invite you to join us, other fellow Cedar Laners, in the Kensington Labor Day Parade from 9:45 to 11:30. It's a joyful way to celebrate the dignity of all who labor and to make our presence visible in our community. Nicole, where are we gathering again? Which street? Oberon Street is where we will gather around 9:30-ish and then start marching. So we hope to see you, many of you there. And then next Saturday, September 6th, from 10 to 2, we'll gather here for a hospitality retreat. So if you serve or would like to serve in our hospitality ministry as a greeter, usher, or coffee host, we welcome you. We'll share a meal, reflect together, and practice the ministry of welcome that makes Cedar Lane feel like home. And the following Sunday, September 7th, we begin our new congregational year with our in-gathering service and water ceremony at 10:30. Please bring water from your travels or simply from your home tap, as together we mingle our waters and our blessings. If you forget, don't worry, we'll have water for you. And afterwards, stay for a potluck lunch. Sign up to bring a dish, and the sign-up link is in the e-news, so we hope to see many of you there next Sunday. And looking a little further ahead, on Saturday, September 13th, from 2 to 4 p.m., we will host a Cedar Lane open house. So please invite your friends, your neighbors, and your coworkers, and even strangers to come experience music, children's activities, and an introduction to Cedar Lane and our values and our commitments. And because our calling doesn't stop at our doors or our county's borders, I want to share 2 invitations from the wider DC community. This Wednesday, September 3rd at 10 a.m., the Point DMV is hosting a district prayer service for prayerful resistance at First Baptist Church of Deanwood. And on Saturday, September 6th at 11 a.m., We Are DC is gathering at Malcolm X Park for the March to Stop the Trump Takeover. And you can find details at wearedc.net. Friends, I hope we will show up for these 2. So whether it's marching in a parade, opening our doors wide, practicing radical hospitality, or being in solidarity with our neighbors, these are the ways we live our faith together. And now, with gratitude for the connections we share, we turn to the heart of our worship with our joys and sorrows.
As we enter this quiet time together, I invite us all to pause, to take a breath in and a breath out. Feel your presence here, in the presence of so many others, safe and surrounded by a congregation of care. We take this moment to honor the fullness of life, the joys that lift our hearts, the sorrows that weigh heavy, and the questions we carry. Whatever you bring this morning, please know you are held in love. Within our Cedar Lane community, we offer our heartfelt condolences to Bill Babson on the passing of his mother, Helen, on August 25th, at the remarkable age of 105. Today, we also celebrate with Candace Haga, who gives thanks for the good news that her brother Carl in Colorado, after a difficult series of biopsies, received an all clear and is recovering well at home. We offer congratulations to Carrie Bell Delgado and Everett Dunham as they begin their studies at the New Mexico State University. We congratulate longtime member Kathleen Reedy, who welcomes her 8th great-grandchild, William Hudson. William was born in North Carolina, but she also wants to point out that now that makes 6 boys, 2 girls, and her 9th is arrived, great-grandchild is arriving in September in Arizona, and her 10th in January in Tennessee. So Kathleen is building her own congregation, clearly. We also congratulate and celebrate with my fellow worship associate, Ezra Town, on opening the Montgomery County Pride Center in Bethesda yesterday, where I don't know if Ezra is here or not. They are co-founder and board member. It was 8 years of hard work and toil to make this happen. And I must say, it's a bright ray of resilience and resistance and hope, all 3 of which we need a lot of right now. Extending our love beyond our sanctuary walls, we also hold all those who live with grief and uncertainty right now. Federal workers facing job loss, immigrants just seeking life and shelter, our trans and non-binary beloveds, women and people of color confronting injustice, and those living with illness or disability. In particular, we grieve with Annunciation Catholic Church this weekend and the people of Minneapolis after last week's school shooting that killed 2 children and injured many more and traumatized an entire nation. We remember the Palestinians who have needlessly died from starvation, and the hundreds more who have suffered and perished and who continue to suffer from hunger since the siege of Gaza began. And remember all those whose lives are scarred by war, genocide, violence, displacement, and relentless impacts of climate change. So now, in this spirit of compassion and connection, I invite you to rise in body or spirit, to speak aloud the names that you carry on your hearts, and to share them in the chat if you're online. Together, let us hold them in stillness and love. Now, we invite you into our ritual of connection. On the side table are smooth stones waiting to be chosen. If you feel so moved, come forward and place a stone in the bowl of water as a sign of what you carry, your joy, your sorrow, your prayer, your hope. And may the ripples that it makes remind us that none of us carries these alone. You're welcome to come forward now.
I invite us now to take a deep breath together. Place your feet on the floor. Settle into your space. And take another breath together. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable, or lower your gaze. And as you settle into this moment, imagine the noise and weight of the world beginning to soften. The worries, the fears, the rushing. Just set them down for a while. You are safe here. You are held here. And now bring your attention to your heart. Not just the organ that beats in your chest, but the deeper heart, the center of who you are. Picture it as a flame, steady and bright. This flame is love. It has been with you from the very beginning, and it remains no matter what storms come. And with each breath, let this flame grow warmer. On the inhale, breathe in compassion for yourself. On the exhale, let loving kindness flow outward to those around you. Inhale love that heals. Exhale love that sustains. And now let that love ripple further, beyond this room, to family and friends, to strangers, even to those with whom we struggle. Love is not about liking or agreeing. Love is about recognizing the sacred spark that dwells in all. And so we place love at the center of our lives, our community, our world. When we forget, love calls us back. When we falter, love steadies us. When we despair, love whispers, "You are not alone." So let us close with a prayer from the Hindu tradition. Words to Lord Ganesha, with his curved trunk and radiant light, who guides us to remove obstacles in our lives and in the world. A prayer that blesses with courage, wisdom, and strength, so that we may work together in love for truth, for justice, for peace. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Shubhakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And now, as we rise from stillness, we carry this flame of love with us, one step in front of the other. Always, we lead with love.
One foot
Don't you give up.
Keep moving on.
Keep moving on. You gotta put one foot in front of the other. And we will not put one foot in front of the other. And we will. You gotta put one foot in front of the other. And we will put one foot in front of the other. Lift up your eyes.
Lift up your eyes.
Don't you despair.
Don't you despair.
Look up ahead.
Look up.
The path is there. The path is there. You gotta put one foot in front of the other. And lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other. And lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other. And lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other. And lead with love. I know you're scared. I know you're scared. And I'm scared too. And I'm scared too. But here I am. But here I am. Right next to you. Right next to you. You gotta put one foot in front of the other. And lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other. And lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other. And lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other. And lead with love. And lead with love.
Each I'd rather listen to that too, so well done. Each week when we gather together, we remind ourselves that this community is sustained by all of us, by our care, our presence, and our generosity. So the offering we take now is more than financial support. It is a way of saying yes to Cedar Lane's mission and to the values we are called to live out together: love, generosity, justice, and transformation. You know, we just sang with conviction and passion, there's honey in the rock for all God's children. Feed everyone today. So it's appropriate that our Share the Plate partner is World Central Kitchen. WCK is often the very first on the ground when disaster strikes, serving freshly made, nourishing meals in response to humanitarian, climate, and community crises. They know that good food does more than feed the body. It provides comfort, dignity, and hope, especially in times of great suffering. And nowhere is that more urgent now than in Gaza. In the midst of a devastating humanitarian crisis, WCK has provided more than 145 million meals. Their teams have cooked and delivered food by land, by sea, by air, finding a way when others said it just wasn't possible. So right now, they're preparing about 200,000 meals a day, but the need is far greater. Their goal is to scale up to 1 million hot meals a day with field kitchens, neighborhood kitchens, and the supplies they need to keep it all going. In a place where so many people and families are struggling to find food, water, and even the means to simply cook, the work is literally life-saving. And our generosity today will support that effort not only in Gaza, but in communities across the world. So today, you can give online, by mail, or by placing your gift in the plate as it's passed. And please know every contribution, no matter how large or small, it makes a big difference. So now this morning's offering will be given and gratefully received.
marching, marching, unnumbered women dead, go crying through our singing, their ancient call for bread. Small art and love and beauty, their trudging spirits new. Yes, it is bread we fight for, but we fight for roses too.
As we go marching, marching, we're standing proud and tall.
The rising of the women means the rising of us all. No more the drudge and idler, tend the toil where one reposes, but a sharing of life's glory. Bread and roses, bread and roses, bread and roses.
I'm putting you to work, Sister Elise.
Thank you, Avi. On this Labor Day Sunday, we pause to honor the dignity of all work, and especially the labor of federal workers and contractors. So often unseen, so often taken for granted, your hands, your voices, your minds, your care have sustained the life of our nation.
Let the people say together, we
See you, we honor you, we give thanks for your service.
Here in this congregation, we are blessed by the presence of those who have served at Health and Human Services, the National Institutes of Health, the State Department, USAID, the Food and Drug Administration, the Environmental Protection Agency, the Department of Justice, NIST, the Department of Labor, the Library of Congress, the Federal Communications Commission, Veterans Administration, Small Business Administration, and so many more. If you are or have been a federal worker or contractor, you are invited, if you are present here, to rise in body and or in spirit, to so we may offer our gratitude to you.
Yeah. Woo! Thank you. Thank you. You embody the truth Dr. King proclaimed. All labor has dignity. All labor has dignity.
Yet your service has too often been treated as expendable, furloughs and shutdowns, frozen pay and delayed contracts, forced retirements, jobs eliminated, contracts cut. These have shaken livelihoods and disrupted lives.
We remember the anxiety, the injustice, the nights of uncertainty you have borne. We remember. We will not forget. Today, we hold you in gratitude.
And we commit ourselves to journeying with you.
May this community be a place where your labor is honored, your humanity is cherished, and your voice is heard. Let us lift our voices with courage and hope,
remembering that when we honor labor, we honor life itself.
all labor has dignity. All labor has worth.
May it be so. Please rise now again in body and/or in spirit to join your voices and your hearts to sing with the DC Labor Chorus, Solidarity Forever.
Greater than their hoarded gold, greater than the might of armies magnified a thousandfold. We can bring to birth a new world from the ashes of the old, for the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever, solidarity forever, solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. They divide us by our color, they divide us by our tongue, they divide us men and women, they divide us old and young, but they'll tremble at our voices when they hear these verses sung, for the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever, solidarity forever, solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. Solidaridad para siempre, solidaridad para siempre, solidaridad para siempre, que viva nuestra unión. Solidarity forever, solidarity forever, solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong.
Solidarity forever. The words are more than just a song. They carry over a century of struggle and hope. This hymn of working people was written in 1915 by Ralph Chaplin, a poet and artist for the industrial workers of the world, the Wobblies. He began writing the song while covering the violent Paint Creek, Cabin Creek strike in West Virginia, where miners and their families endured more than a year in tents through bitter winters. They stood firm against the coal companies despite evictions, beatings, and death. Now, Chaplin finished the song in Chicago, where it was first sung at a hunger demonstration. He set it to the tune of John Brown's Body, the melody of abolition. so that the struggle of miners and laborers would echo the struggle to end slavery. And its chorus, Solidarity Forever for the Union Makes Us Strong, became a rallying cry. It was sung at picket lines and marches. It was passed from voice to voice as a declaration of faith. When we stand together, no tyrant, no billionaire, no bad boss can break us. I learned this song growing up in India, where the song made its way across the Atlantic and was sung at labor union gatherings, which my mother used to take me to. She was a labor relations officer, and that's when I first learned it. But that's why Solidarity Forever belongs here on Labor Day at Cedar Lane Unitarian Universalist Congregation. Because our UU theology tells us that worth and dignity are not earned by wealth or power. They are inherent in every person, in every hand that labors, in every voice that rises for justice. And as people of this tradition, we don't just sing about justice, we lift up the voices that call us to it. Ours is a faith that insists that the struggle for freedom must include economic justice, that democracy cannot thrive without equity, that the sacred is revealed in the work of human hands as much as in the words of prophets. Now, it is no accident that a book preserving the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King's labor speeches is titled All Labor Has Dignity, and that it was published by Beacon Press, the publishing house of the Unitarian Universalist Association. Now, Beacon Press has long been a voice for movements that bend the arc of history toward justice. They published James Baldwin and Audre Lorde when others turned them away. They risked printing Howard Zinn's A People's History of the United States. And more famously, they published the Pentagon Papers. How many of you knew that? When Daniel Ellsberg brought them forward, despite President Nixon personally calling and threatening the UUA's President Bob West. Beacon Press chose truth over fear, integrity over intimidation, and that legacy reminds us that resisting authoritarianism is never abstract. You can't read your way into liberation. It is lived out in costly choices. To protect truth and dignity against fear, repression, and control. And this same thread of moral courage and truth runs through the life and witness of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. You see, when most people think of Dr. King, they remember him as a civil rights leader. Montgomery, Birmingham, the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, and the march across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. But you see, King's vision was always larger, more radical. He was not a civil rights leader alone, he was a human rights leader. And he knew the struggle for racial justice could never be separated from the struggle for economic justice, for worker rights, for the dignity of all labor. So in his sermon, All Labor Has Dignity, you hear his kinship with working people, his conviction that unions and civil rights leaders together could bend history toward justice. He insisted freedom and equality could not be real without economic justice, which is why the March on Washington in 1963, the anniversary that we just marked, the 62nd anniversary, was not just the March for Freedom, it was the March for Freedom and Jobs. Union members wearing Gandhi caps filled the crowd with signs declaring fair employment, full employment, and jobs and freedom. I'm just curious, is anyone here who was at that march in '63? Wow. All right. King reminded the nation that the right to sit at a lunch counter meant little if he could not afford a cup of coffee. That desegregating a motel meant little if you couldn't afford to take your family on vacation. And it was in this spirit that Dr. King came to Memphis in March 1968 to stand with striking sanitation workers. People who lifted garbage cans until their bodies broke down. People forced to hide and ride in the back of trucks like refuse themselves. People carrying signs with the simple truth, I am a man. Their strike was more than just about wages. It was about being treated as human beings in a system that valued garbage trucks more than the people who drove them. Profits more than lives. And Dr. King saw in their struggle the same forces we face today. Corporations willing to sacrifice dignity for profit, billionaires holding wealth while workers lived in poverty, leaders clinging to control instead of justice. And so that night at Bishop Mason Temple, Dr. King told them, and I quote, "You are demanding that this city respect the dignity of labor. So often we overlook the work of those not in the so-called big jobs, but whenever you are engaged in work that serves humanity, it has dignity. One day our society must come to see this. One day it will respect the sanitation worker if it is to survive. For the person who picks up our garbage is as significant as the physician. All labor has dignity." Let's say it. All labor has dignity. You see, this was never just about a paycheck. It was about who counts, who is seen, who is honored as fully human. It was about resisting a system that treats workers as disposable, an authoritarian impulse still alive today when corporations cut corners, when billionaires hoard, when governments skip and strip away protections in the name of efficiency. And in Memphis, he named the truth we still need to hear. Freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. Freedom is not handed down. It is claimed together by those who refuse to be invisible. And that truth, my friends, is just as urgent now as it was then. Because today, too many in power treat working people as expendable. We live in an age when billionaires gain more in a week than most workers see in a lifetime put together. Corporations write the rules, elected officials and the Supreme Court are eager to do their bidding, and federal workers and contractors, our neighbors, our friends, members of this very congregation are scapegoated, harassed, stripped of rights. Their service to the common good treated as dispensable and disposable. Now, this is not politics. This is an assault on the very idea that all labor has dignity. And the truth is, this is not something new. The strategies we see now, concentrating wealth, dismantling government, silencing workers, have been tested for generations on Black, brown, indigenous, immigrant, and poor communities in this country. Right to work laws weakened solidarity. Immigrant labor was welcomed when convenient, deported when it organized. Native lands and labor were deliberately stolen. The poor were branded undeserving, and mass incarceration turned poverty into profit. What was once tested on the margins is now being applied to all of us. That's the difference. You see, when billionaires privatize schools, slash services, attack federal workers, gut voting rights, and turn government into their own private slush fund, they are running the same playbook. Only now it is aimed at the whole working class, at young people drowning in debt, at rural families watching factories close, at middle-class households, one illness or one layoff away from financial ruin. This is the playbook of oligarchy. Perfect your tools on the vulnerable, then expand them until they control the whole. And here is how the playbook looks in action today, in our own time, in our own streets. 2 weeks ago, President Trump ordered a military occupation of Washington, D.C. Not because the city was in crisis, but because he found an obscure clause in the 1973 Home Rule Act and chose to wield it as a weapon. So he declared an emergency, seized control of the police, put armed National Guard troops in the streets, which wasn't about safety, it was about sending a message. Dissent will be punished. Democracy will bend to the will of one man. The author Timothy Snyder calls this the state of exception, when leaders claim extraordinary powers in the name of crisis, real or invented. The author Jason Stanley calls it the law and order myth, portraying diverse, multicultural, pluralistic cities as dangerous to justify force. It is not about protection. It is about control. And it is not just D.C. In Texas, leaders rigged districts to hold power for a whole generation, and they are saying out loud what voter suppression has always whispered. Your voice doesn't count. Your vote doesn't matter, because you are the wrong color, the wrong gender, the wrong sexual orientation, the wrong language. And across this country, detention centers have become what can only be called concentration camps. Families locked in cages, children torn from parents, human beings reduced to numbers and cells. And these cages are not about safety. They are about stripping away our dignity, testing authoritarian power on the vulnerable, normalizing cruelty so it can be expanded everywhere. This is the playbook of oligarchy on full display. And friends, Dr. King warned us about this convergence. He named racism, poverty, militarism, and rampant materialism as a deadly quartet, an unholy alliance that places profit over people, control over compassion, order over justice. And what begins as an assault on one group never ends there. What is tested on the margins soon becomes the norm. And we are seeing it now when Black and brown families being targeted first, immigrants being caged and deported, workers stripped of unions and protections, and communities divided and demonized. Dr. King warned us that this path leads not only to injustice, but to the loss of America's very soul. And I saw this truth again just this week outside the ICE field office in Baltimore, standing with the family of Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Kilmar was taken back into ICE custody, not for any crime, but for daring to stand up, for refusing to be coerced. He walked into that building with courage. And before he did, he told us, "Remember that I am free. and I was able to be reunited with my family, and this was a miracle. And he asked us not to stop marching, not to stop praying, not to stop fighting. And his words echoed the long cry of those who have faced down cruelty and insisted on dignity. His courage was a living reminder that love is stronger than fear, that solidarity is stronger than cruelty. And as we sang, "Keep on moving forward," I knew again why we gather. We gather to resist despair. We gather to protect one another. We gather to rehearse again and again for liberation. We gather because solidarity forever is not just a song, it is a way of life. And that is our hope. We know how to stop these billionaires and bad bosses and resist cruelty. We do it the way sanitation workers did in Memphis, the way farm workers did in California, the way teachers and nurses still do today, through solidarity, through collective non-violent action, by refusing to be divided. And so this Labor Day is not just about parades or barbecues. It is about choosing sides. Will we stand with billionaires who hoard and exploit? No. Or do we stand with working people who build, heal, clean, and sustain the world? Yes. The choice before us is not new. Dr. King saw it clearly in his own day. He told that America needed nothing less than a revolution of values, a shift from a thing-oriented society to a person-oriented society, a greatness measured not by skyscrapers or weapons, but by whether every child is fed, every worker honored, every community made whole. So today, as we honor all who labor, let us recommit ourselves to that revolution of values. Let us remember that at the end of the day, there are more of us than billionaires. Let's just remember that. And when we lift our voices together in song and protest and prayer, we are unstoppable. And the truth is as urgent now as it was then. All labor has dignity. And what will carry us through? Solidarity forever. May it be so. Amen. Thank you. And since you're already rising, let us be risen for our benediction. May the spirit of solidarity strengthen you, the courage of those who came before us steady our steps, and the hope those beside us lift our voices, and the vision yet to be call us forward. For the work of liberation is shared work. The dream of justice is carried by us all. So go, my friends, in peace, in love, in power, in solidarity, because we did not come this far to give up now. May it be so. Amen.
like days of old behind the freedom cloud. I have this faith deep in my heart somehow. We did not come this far to give up now. I dreamed I saw Velma Hopkins last night. I said you died long ago. Then she said, nah, I did. I came back 'cause I need you to know. She said, I saw Bree Newsom climbing up that flagpole. She took that thing down, the slavery flag would not fly. And as long as folks have courage like that, I will never die. And we did not come this far to give up now. Like days of old behind the freedom cloud. I have this faith deep in my heart somehow. We did not come this far to give up now.
I dreamed I saw Pete Seeger last night. I said you died long ago. And he said, no, senor, I ain't dead. I came back 'cause I need you to know. I saw los Puerto Ricanos protesting. They held a general strike and they kicked that governor out. As long as folks have courage like that, I'll be singing in the crowd.
We did not come this far to give up now. Like days of old behind the freedom cloud. I have this faith deep in my heart somehow. We did not come this far to give up now.
Then he said, no, I ain't dead. I came because I need you to know. I see a new poor people's campaign, mending what's broken. That's what we began. And as long as folks have courage like that, the world will understand. We did not come this far
To give up now.
like days of old behind the freedom cloud.
I have this faith deep in my heart somehow. We did not come this far